Hi, I'm Dave Gorley with Findlay Subaru. We're out here at the C-Overlook with Martin Tyner from Southwest Wildlife Foundation, and Martin's going to be releasing a red-tailed hawk today. But before we start that, we have a little presentation for you today, Martin. In conjunction with the Share the Love event, Findlay Subaru was able to raise $12,444.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, guys. Okay, this is Martin Tyner with the Southwest Wildlife Foundation. It's quite a pretty day. It's a little bit breezy, but not bad. And we are going to release a red-tailed hawk back to the wild. And here we are at our official wildlife rescue vehicle, our Subaru Forrester, that we are so proud of. And let's get a hawk box for us here. I lost my wife. I'll this to you. A hawk box.
Yeah. Ready to go now.
While we're at it, let's say hi to everybody that we've got here for you to see what's going on here. Hand that to me. Let's go say hi. I'll give you guys a little tour here. Here's Cirrus and Piper. Hi, kiddos. How's my babies? That's Piper up there. That's their nesting box. Hi, Cirrus. Hi, little girl. And this is Cirrus. Hi, baby lady. Yeah. Say hi to everybody. You're such a pretty girl. Yes, you are. You're such a pretty girl. So this is their chamber that they live in. And again, we have their breeder box right up there for them. And they didn't breed this year, but we are hoping next year. Piper was a little bit young. It was possible for him to breed, but he didn't. So that's okay. Hi, Scout. How's my boy? Huh? How's my big boy? Oh, it looks like it's just going to be blurry because of the bars. Anyway, that's Scout, and you know, this is nice. We grow all this ivy all over the chamber to help keep it cool in the summertime. And Scout has a little air conditioning in his chamber as well to help keep him cool, because he's the one I worry about heat-wise, because the eagles don't handle the heat as well. Our two eagles here, we have the golden eagle and a bald eagle that we've got right here. And we were going to release the golden eagle today, but he's got just the tiniest little limp. Otherwise, it's a female. She's looking really, really good, but we decided that we would go ahead and hold off, give her a little tiny bit longer, just to make sure that she's healed up okay. You can see she's walking quite normally, but to me, I just catch a little tiny limp there, and I just want to make sure she's 100%. And of course, then everybody knows Belle. Hi, sweetie. And this is Belle. And she's just kind of out hanging out. Good morning or good evening. Such a pretty girl. Yes, you are. You're such a pretty girl. That wag of the tail is actually the way she greets me. So anytime that I come out, the way she says hi is she wags her tail to say hello. It's a very, very cute maneuver. This is Helen, the Peregrine that is our wildlife ambassador as well. She's very pretty. And doing just quite wonderfully. Hi, pretty girl. Stretch those pretty wings. But everybody's just kind of relaxing. It's actually, it's a very, very nice day. So it's a great day to do a wildlife release. This is a male Peregrine Falcon. And this one was hit by a car and had some neurological issues, had severe concussion and so on, but is doing very, very well, and he is very much ready for release. So it's hopefully within the week or so we'll get him released as well. So he's looking very, very good. Such a pretty, pretty little peregrine. And this is the red-tailed hawk that came in. It had all of its tail feathers tore off, and he's doing beautifully as well. All of his feathers are almost grown, and again, I'm looking at probably the end of the month, and then this red-tailed hawk will be ready for release back to the wild as well. So he's doing very well. This is the one that's ready to go, and yes, you can see you're very anxious to get out of here. So this is our new release, and she's going back to the wild today. We are so anxious to get her turned loose. Such a pretty thing. Again, hit by cars, neurological issues, but no longer the case, and so she's absolutely ready and rare to go. Okay. Hi, pretty girl. I don't know if you guys can see her not very well, but this is our nice big female red tail. And she has a big crop full of food right there. You had a big meal, sweetie. So we're ready to get you on your way. Yes, we are. Okay. Yes, you are a pretty thing. Yes, you are. You're a good girl. Okay, which will these fit you? Now this is something I get asked this question all the time about the hoods. And what the hoods are, this is stress protection. Right now she's incredibly frightened and very, very nervous, and when you put her in the car or drive her in the car, all of that movement can really just drive her over the edge. Now this is probably not big enough for her head, but we'll see. I've got another one that's, yeah, I need the bigger one. This is for a female red-tailed here, and this is just a hood. It's covered over her eyes like this. That's my girl. Good girl. Okay, now she's in essence, she's blindfolded, and so all of that terrible movement and stuff transporting her won't be an issue. Boy, she's fat. That's good. Big feet, big strong feet. That's wonderful. When she came in, because she was hit by a car, she couldn't balance, she couldn't stand, certainly couldn't fly, but now that's all taken care of. Now when we talk about birds and when we feed them, most people don't understand that birds don't have a stomach like we do. They have a gizzard, which is just a small grinding up muscle right down here. So that doesn't hold very much food. And so the way they store the food from between meals is what's called a crop. And it's just a fleshy pouch right here. And you can see, look carefully, there's this stick out right here. This is all, that's the quail she had today that she ate. It's all right there. And it's ripped into small pieces, and they swallow it. It only goes this far. And since it only goes this far, it doesn't go down into the digestive system, so the digestive system doesn't get overwhelmed. But basically, it goes right here. This is where it's stored. And as the gizzard starts to empty, she will do what we call put over, which she'll just kind of push her head down and force a little bit of her meal out of the crop, and then it goes down her throat and down into the gizzard for digestive purposes. And so she does not have a big meal here, she has a big meal here. And all birds are that way. They have a crop. Red-tailed hawks get their name because of the beautiful reddish tail that you see right here. And so this is an adult female with a nice red tail. They are referred to as broad-winged, which means they've got big, thick, round wings. So they got these big, beautiful wings right there. They're a soaring bird. She is growing new feathers. It's that time of year to grow all of her new feathers. And her feathers are just beautiful, a beautiful condition. So she's definitely ready and raring to go back to the wild. Oh, here's something I want to show you guys. Since you can see this right here. Look at this. You see that little, I don't know if you can see it very well. You see that little feather right there?
Yep, you can see.
Now that is a brand new feather growing in, and they grow in this shaft, and so the shaft is protein, and it's full of blood. And so if this feather breaks, she will bleed. And so oftentimes when people say, well, my bird's bleeding out of its feathers, well, this is what's bleeding. And this is like a straw, and this is completely hollow. And so they can bleed quite a bit right there. But that's just a brand new feather. And that feather will be the same size as that feather. It'll be, when it's all grown in, it'll be a full size, just like this one. And just like this one, it'll be exactly the same size. But that's what a new feather looks like when it's growing. And so we do have to be a little bit careful when they're growing new feathers, because you don't want them to break those new feathers and to bleed. So she's got a bunch of new ones coming in, but that's fine. Okay, here's my pretty girl. Here we go. Here we go.
She
I know,
says
sweetie, you don't want to be here.
he's not going to stay in there.
Yes. Okay, settle in. Okay, there you go. And that's hooded. So you can imagine how upset she would be if she didn't have her hood on. Still have your hood on. No, you kicked the hood. That's why. She kicked her hood off.
It's a little bit loose.
It's a little bit loose on her. Well, let me grab a glove and we'll get that put
When
back
she's
on.
settled down, will she be okay if we just cover her cage?
Yeah, maybe we should do that. Yeah, these are wild animals, and like I said, they do get very, very frightened when you transport them. So this will help. Stocking up the box here. That'll help keep her a little calmer. There you go, sweetie. Okay. And if she gets too bouncy, I'll grab her and put a hood back on her. Well, bird's loaded, we're loaded. Next stop, gas station.
Time to go.
And so it's time to go, but we'll see you in a little bit, guys, at the top of the mountain.
You see the hawk is sitting quietly now.
Yeah, she's sitting quietly in the box that is covered. And if she got too rambunctious, we would put the hood back on her, but she's sitting quietly, so that's okay. To our left, you can see a white letter C.
Let's see if I can enlarge the camera there.
And that's where we're going.
It's right above the street light. You can see the sea on the mountain, the white sea.
And so it's a beautiful place to not only get a great view of the area, but this red-tailed hawk actually came from out west of town, and standing up there at the sea, I can actually see exactly the location that the hawk came from. So, the hawk would have no problems going back exactly where it came from. But the truth of the matter is, that's not too much of an issue for the simple fact it's a migratory. They're going to go where they go anyway, no matter where we release them. Now, for all of you that want to come up to a wildlife rescue, if you ever get the opportunity, and I know we didn't advertise this one because of the coronavirus, we can't have large gatherings. So this has not been advertised very much. A few people have heard about it, but not very many. So we started at Main and Center Street. We turn east, we're heading up Highway 14, and we come a few miles up Highway 14, and just ahead of us here there's a small brown sign that will say Cedar Breaks and Kolob Reservoir, and we turn right here at just past the sign, like we're going to head to Kolob Reservoir. And and then we continue climbing up the mountain. But we wanted to give you guys an opportunity to get a good feel for what the area is like and what it's like for us to do a wildlife release. And as you can see, as we're coming up, you're starting to see some pine trees. You know, we'll clear up into the ponderosa pines. The bushy trees that we have alongside of the road, these are scrub oak. And then the darker green bushy ones are the pinyon pines. And this is where pine nuts come from. People come up here and they walk around under these pinyon pine trees and pick up the nuts in the fall.
You have to get a permit because there's certain areas you can do it.
Yes, but you can pick up the pine nuts and they roast them, and it's a kind of a Thanksgiving and Christmas treat for everyone to have a big bag of pine nuts. This is the Sea Trail parking. That's where we are. There we go. We got a few people up here. Like I said, we didn't want to advertise this because, again, we can't have large groups because of the pandemic. But that's okay.
Show them the Finley car.
Oh yeah, show the Finley car.
Hi, I'm Dave Gorley with Finley Subaru. We're out here at the C-Overlook with Martin Tyner from Southwest Wildlife Foundation, and Martin's going to be releasing a red-tailed hawk today. But before we start that, we have a little presentation for you today, Martin. In conjunction with the Share the Love event, Finley Subaru was able to raise $12,444.
Oh wow, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, guys.
Wow.
Look at this.
So this is the
$12,000 for the Wildlife Foundation.
That's
Isn't
amazing.
that amazing?
That is a tremendous
That is awesome.
donation.
This is what, the 7th year that we've been doing this?
This is our 7th year that we have been part of the Subaru Share the Love campaign, and Finley Subaru has been an amazing sponsor to help the Southwest Wildlife Foundation and the work that we do with our wildlife rescue facilities here in southern Utah. And so this is incredible. I'm speechless, Dave. Thank you. I don't know what to say. This is truly an amazing gift, and this buys a lot of food for injured hawks and eagles and owls and so on. So we're very grateful for that. Now we're going to have the fun part. We're going to release this big, beautiful red-tailed hawk back to the wild. Now, this is the dangerous part. The bird has, I usually put a hood over their head to help keep them quiet. Well, she's kicked the hood off. And so we've got it covered so that she doesn't get too frightened, but she's completely wild and free in there. I'm going to have to get a hold of her without her getting a hold of me first. So this is the challenging part. And let's see if I can get her without getting myself grabbed. Hey, sweetie. There's my girl. Okay. Yeah, you're ready. Come on, you're ready to go, aren't you, sweet girl? Okay, got one foot. Got the one foot. Got the other foot. Okay. So this is the part that you have to worry about. She is wild. She's beautiful. Hi, baby girl. Come on. Come. So you can see everybody here. Oh, there's my girl. Aren't you pretty? And so this is a western red-tailed hawk. This is the most common hawk found in North America. And they call them western red-tailed hawks because if you can see right here, let me get that wing tucked under. She's got that beautiful, look at that red tail. Isn't that gorgeous? So she has that beautiful red tail. Now she gets the red tail basically as an adult when she's a couple of years old. Otherwise, her tail is mostly striped, kind of a gray and black color. And so people come up to me all the time and says, what kind of hawk is that? And I say, that's a red-tailed hawk. This one doesn't have a red tail. Well, that's a juvenile red-tailed hawk. And this one's an adult. And she was hit by a car, and she had a very, very bad concussion. She couldn't stand. She couldn't move. Yes, I know. Bite, bite, bite. That's my girl. I don't care if you bite me. I've been bitten by a lot worse than red-tailed hawks. Now, the reason we're putting the hood back on her right here is so we can kind of keep her a little bit calm as we walk her off to the edge of the cliff. There's my girl. There you go. So, Western red-tailed hawk, one of the most common large hawks in North America. Big, powerful feet. Now these are that's what they kill with, and this is what you got to watch out for, those talons, because those are the dangerous part. They can certainly bite you, but if they bite you, it hurts. The talons can go right into your hand, and they're very, very infectious, and you can get a horrible infection from being grabbed by one of these guys. So you do not want to get grabbed by an animal like this. But again, I've been handling them for over 50 years, and so she's very pretty. She's had a big meal. This is where her meal is, right here. This is the crop, and this is full of food, and they fill up the crop, and they digest it in the gizzard down here. So this is where they store the food, kind of like a stomach, but they don't have a stomach. They have a crop and a gizzard. And so, Tori, come over here. Tori is one of my employees at our dog grooming shop, and so Tori has come up, and she is excited to get the opportunity to release this beautiful hawk back to the wild. Now, Tori, what I'm going to do for you, now we're going to do it down there, okay, but I'm going to explain the process. You can see I've got the hawk, I've got the feet are the most important part. Mm-hmm. And what I'm going to want you to do is I'm going to have you hold your hands out, and I'm going to take the hawk and I'm going to push it against your chest. Okay. And you're going to reach around the chest with your left hand, and you're going to grab right there so that you got both feet. You don't have to crush them, but you do need to hold them firmly. Okay. Because we don't want those to get you. Okay. And then with it against your chest, then you put your other hand right here on its chest, kind of hold the wing, kind of like this. Okay. And then when you're ready, I want you to just kind of take the hawk, lean forward, and throw it into the sky.
All right. Just wait till Martin takes its hood off.
Yeah, I take the hood off first. Yes, okay. we don't launch it with the hood on. And basically, if all goes well, you will be the last person on the planet to ever hold this bird. Okay, well, hey everyone, we've released the red-tailed hawk, and I wanted to show you this. Look over here. That's Cedar Breaks National Monument off in the distance. You know, you get an idea of how scenic this area really is. It's just absolutely beautiful to have such a neat place. And so the release went very, very well. The hawk just flew away like it was supposed to, and one more success, one more critter back in the wild where he belongs, or she belongs. So it's been a very nice, successful day. And we're going to close it out now. Thank you for joining us, and everyone, please stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll talk to you soon.